So hi everyone, we'll be learning about brachial plexus today. So what is this brachial plexus? What are you seeing? What is brachial plexus? First let's tell you what is brachial plexus. Why is it called brachial? You see your arm, you have your biceps brachii, brachialis, and you have your brachial artery. So since many structures are named brachial over there, that's why since it's going through that, it's called brachial. Plexus, group of something is called plexus. So you're done with this? Brachial plexus. Okay. You're seeing this. One thing I'm going to show you. The one which I'm going to mark in blue, I'll be doing in front of you only. Which I mark in blue. It's very important. Yellow. Read once. Don't skip it. Read once. And green, you can just glance. Okay. So first, very important thing is diagram. This diagram. I know. Seems like mosquito net, fish net, or something, or you can name it as nonsense. I'll make this nonsense sensible by showing you a diagram. I will draw it in a pen and paper. Okay. Why am I doing that? Because it will be more clear. I can do it even here. I can do it here also, but I don't want to do that. I'll show it to you in the pen and paper. See that. After that, you won't have any confusions. We'll take the diagram. We'll draw this. Okay. Since we have already named it nonsense, let's see how this nonsense will make sense. First, simple. It's very simple. Just follow the steps. Draw a line, triangle, and a horizontal line again, and then a line, triangle. Now divide this nonsense into 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. This first one, what you're seeing is roots. Second one is trunk. Third one is division. Fourth one is chords. So you have taken the lines, you have divided into 4 columns, and you have named it as roots, trunks, divisions, chords. Okay. Now we'll see the branches from the roots. What are the branches coming from the roots? First, before that, we'll see the root values. So what is this? This is C5, C6, C7, C8, T1. What is all this? This is root value. What do you mean by root value? The place where it's arising from. C means cervical, T means thorax. I will show it to you in the 3D app again, so you don't have to worry. Now look at the root value. Remember the root value, it's very important. So this is the root value. Now we'll see the branches coming from the roots. Just the line extending from this. This is DS. What is DS? Dorsal scapular nerve. DS is dorsal scapular nerve. Dorsal scapular nerve. Then 3 points you make here. Okay. Now connect those 3 points. Extend it. This is nothing but your long thoracic nerve. Very important nerve, supplies your serratus anterior muscle. If there is any damage, it will cause paralysis to the serratus anterior muscle, leading to winging of scapula. Now don't worry what is winging of scapula. You just listen to this. Winging of scapula will be taught in the next video in the upcoming topic, which is muscles of back. Or yeah, you can see that. Now they have seen the branches of the roots. Now we will see the branches from the trunks. Okay. 2 lines again, nothing much here. 1, 2. S, S, N, S. What is S, S? Suprascapular nerve. Suprascapular nerve. What is NS? NS I'll be writing here. Nerve to subclavius. Nerve to subclavius. So you have seen the branches from roots, trunks. So what this nonsense you have seen is little making sense now. Will again it will become more sensible if we further more. Okay. Roots, trunks, done, finish. Now divisions. Nothing else. You just remember in this box you see this, put a cross mark. Just a cross mark. Done. And here a slanting line. That's it. You're done with divisions again. Anterior division, posterior division. In textbook it's written where it connects. It's not necessary to by heart that if you know this diagram. So it's very important. Practice the diagram as many times as possible. That's why I'm drawing it on the paper and showing you so that it will become very simple to you. You're done with roots, trunks, divisions. Final comes the cords. From cords, you have lateral pectoral nerve. Okay, I'll just point it out with the other color. You'll get confused. Okay, lateral pectoral nerve. N is nerve. Remember. Okay, and then you just extend these lines a bit, huh? Okay, and this continues as your musculocutaneous nerve. It's an important nerve in the front of the arm. Remember, musculocutaneous nerve. Okay, you're done with the. This is, remember, this is what you're seeing. This is lateral cord. I'll be marking, circling here. This is medial cord. L is lateral, M is medial. This is posterior cord. Lateral cord, L is lateral cord, M is medial cord, P is posterior cord. Why lateral? It's on the lateral side of axillary artery. This is medial side of the axillary artery. Posterior is below the axillary artery. That's why it's called as lateral, posterior, and medial. You're done with the cords. You have seen the branches of the lateral cord. That's it. There's one more branch coming up. So remember, lateral root of median nerve. What is this? Well, let's write it here. Lateral root of median nerve. Okay, done. Now you see this, from the posterior cord, mark 3 lines. Okay, this is US and the bottom one is LS, between one is T. I'll be writing here what is US, T and LS. US, simple. Okay, US is upper subscapular nerve. Upper subscapular nerve. LS is again simple. Lower subscapular nerve. What is T? Thoracodorsal. Important. T is thoracodorsal. Important nerve again, supplies your latissimus dorsi. These are the 3 branches coming from the posterior cord. And this, you see this black line? Extend it. Extend and divide this. What you're seeing, this is axillary nerve. This is radial nerve. So this is axillary, radial. You're done with the posterior cord branches. So you're left with only medial cord. Very simple again. Just extend this. You have seen here lateral pectoral nerve, right? Here it's medial pectoral nerve. Alright. Medial pectoral nerve. Okay. Next, one more. What is this? This is medial. Why me? Remember, it's in medial cord, so everything will be medial only, right? So remember that basic point. You don't miss on that. So medial cutaneous nerve of arm. Medial cutaneous nerve of arm. This is separate. Don't get confused. Yeah. So medial cutaneous nerve of arm. What is medial cutaneous nerve of arm? Medial side. Cutaneous means skin, like upper part, cutaneous. And nerve of arm. Arm is what? I'll show it in the 3D app. Don't worry. Just remember the diagram. We'll see in the 3D app. I'll show it in the textbook also. So don't worry, okay? So medial cutaneous nerve of arm. You're done with that. Then same thing. Same thing. Repeat, 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 repeat. Medial cutaneous nerve of forearm. That's it. Same name, just forearm, arm and forearm. That's it. You're done with this. And one more. Extend this. You have extended from here, no, from lateral cord. So for medial cord, one more. Medial root of median nerve. This is very important. Median nerve. And this one is left. What is this? This one, this nerve. This is ulnar. Ulnar nerve. That's it. You want to put in a box so that you won't get confused. Yeah. So this is your brachial plexus drawing. Now further we'll see the 3D of it. I'll show you the 3D. So what you're seeing is a 3D of brachial plexus. So as you can see, this is the cervical region. C5, C6, C7, T1. So you look at this. This is the brachial plexus upper trunk. From C5, C6, this is upper trunk going behind, like below the clavicle. This bone, you see this? This is a clavicle. It's going below that and entering your axilla. Axilla is your underarm. It's going into the axilla and divides into your branches again. So this is the upper trunk, as you can see. This is how it's arising, the upper trunk. This is the root value, and this is where it's arising, and this is how it's going. And this one is the middle trunk of brachial plexus. This is how it's going. And the last one is lower trunk of brachial plexus. So this is how it's arising, passing, and dividing. And again, it goes into your arms and divides into your major nerves. So there are 3 major nerves we'll be seeing in the next coming up videos. And this is how we have brachial plexus. So as you can see, this is a 3D representation. So hope that nonsense diagram made some sense in the end. If still it didn't make any sense, then you don't have common sense. I'm sorry. So yeah, this was the diagram which we practiced. So don't worry if you're not understanding, watch the video again. Practice it 4 or 5, how many times ever it's possible. So the diagram is very important. If you practice that, you're seeing the pages here, right? All these things, you see these. It's not required to study. If you ask me how did you pass your exam with not studying, I by hearted the diagram, basically practiced the diagram, understood the diagram. I have explained the diagram, and I've scored 82% in my university exam. And overall 80% in my first year MBBS. So that's how you should study. Every line usage and study, it's not possible. It's really tough. It will take your time because you even have your physiology, if you even have your biochemistry also to study equally. So practice the diagram and read all these points. But still, I will cover it in this video because I don't want to miss a point also. I'll try maximum, I'll cover the maximum important points here so that after this video, practice the diagram, go through this PDF, and yes, you'll be done. You'll score maximum marks. So let's quickly start without wasting any time. Okay. So as I'm indicating, blue is important, yellow is read once, green is glance. So brachial plexus is a plexus of nerves. As I told you, it's a group of nerves formed by anterior primary rami. So what is anterior primary rami? I'll explain you very roughly. So let's say this is the spinal cord section. Okay. Spinal cord section. Taking a spinal cord and cutting it. There's one coming from the posterior and anterior. Yeah, going back and coming front. The one which is coming front, this one is called anterior primary rami. Primary rami. This is posterior or dorsal. So now you understood what is anterior primary rami and posterior primary rami. Anterior primary rami is your brachial plexus. Not like brachial plexus is your anterior primary rami. It's not posterior, it's anterior. What is the root value? It's given here, C5 to T1. Look, C5 to T1, C5 to C8 and plus T1. C is cervical, T is thoracic. So that's it. This is what it's written here, done. And there's something called as prefixed and postfixed. Prefixed is nothing but where your C4, this thing has larger contribution than T1. And in postfixed, T2 has larger contribution than C5. You're done with your prefixed and postfixed. Just go in the box, not much important, but take a look. So this is this thing I've saw, and let's go to the next diagram, not this. So roots, as in the diagrams, there are 5 roots. I've explained the root values. So we are done with this. This is a blue. Okay, read it. So we are done with it. In the diagram itself, I've been explained. Trunks, I've already told you what you're seeing, and I'll explain here. This is upper trunk, middle trunk, lower trunk. C5, C6 will form upper trunk. C7 will form middle trunk. C8 and T1 will form lower trunk. That is what is explained here. Okay, if you know the diagram, you don't have to read this again and again. I'm telling, practice the diagram. That is the most important. That will easily get you marks. So done with this. This is blue. It's important, but it's still in the diagram. So you're done with this too. Done with roots also. Divisions, anterior, posterior. I've told you cross mark. It's here in this diagram. Told you this cross mark, and one. These are the divisions. So done with the divisions also, you just have to explain that divisions anterior and this thing. Chords, lateral, posterior, medial. I explained the diagram, the same thing. Nothing much. Just the other things are given, lateral, medial and all that. So that's it. And roots, all roots in the branches from the roots, divisions, roots, trunks, divisions, and chords. That is what is given. Same in the diagram. Long thoracic nerve, dorsoscapular nerve from the roots. From the trunks, you have suprascapular nerve. That is suprascapular nerve. That is SS, and this is NS. And from the trunks and from divisions, you have nothing. This is just the divisions. There's something called as Eppes point. Very important. Okay, what is this Eppes point? Eppes point is meeting point of 6 nerves, where 6 nerves meet. What are those 6 nerves? It's given in this diagram. This diagram is not new again. First, let's see this diagram. So as you see, this is suprascapular nerve, nerve to subclavius. This is C5, C6, anterior division, posterior division. This is meeting point. Somewhat familiar, right? I mean, you've seen this somewhere, right? Absolutely correct. This is, I've seen it here. This is your Eppes point present here. Same diagram, nothing new. So that's why I'm again telling, practice the main diagram. That is this diagram. Very important. Practice it as many times as possible and explain that. You'll get your maximum marks. We're done with Eppes point, and then you have your branches, which is already explained in the diagram. No need of by hearting this. Absolutely, it's not required to by heart this. Learn the diagram and write those. You're done. And this, it's explaining what nerve supplies what muscles. It's important. Again, you will learn this anyways. If you finish your upper limb, you'll know everything. You don't have to break your head for this. You will eventually learn about this. But if you learn about this right now, it will be beneficial for you. So if you want, I can show you the 3D of these muscles and all that, but I can't be helping you by hearting this. I'm sorry. So that's all. You're done with that. And there's something called as M pattern. M pattern. What is this M pattern? You see this? See this M pattern? It's formed by the lateral root of median nerve, medial root of median nerve, and median nerve. This is the axillary artery. This axillary artery is again important. I'll teach in the next video. So remember, on the axillary artery, you can see this M-shaped pattern. You can even see this while dissecting. Please do observe that. This is your M-shaped pattern of brachial plexus. Again, not a new diagram. It's there in the same diagram again here. See this M pattern. Here you will have your axillary artery. That's it, M pattern. That's what it's telling. That's it. You're done with your M part of a brachial plexus. Done with this. And next you have your clinical anatomy of brachial plexus, which I'll be explaining in the next video, a short video. I'll be showing you, in bit detail. Very important. If it's a 10 marker or 5 marker, please do write clinical anatomy. That's how I got maximum marks in anatomy. I scored 80 around in my paper 2 and 75 in my paper 1. So by writing clinical anatomy. So it's very important for you to write this. So that's how I scored high marks. That's all for today's topic.